Once known as the most feared man in boxing, Mike Tyson now wakes up to quiet mornings, wide California skies, and the steady rhythm of ranch life. This is not a comeback story built on noise or nostalgia, but a transformation shaped by land, isolation, and an unexpected cannabis empire worth millions. Far from the chaos of his past, Tyson's days now revolve around soil, routine, and reflection, where anger gave way to discipline, and excess was replaced by purpose. In this lifestyle journey, we step inside the California ranch where a former heavyweight champion rebuilt his life, found peace, and turned calm into an industry. Before the world knew him as the most feared heavyweight boxer in the ring, Mike Tyson's life began in quiet, shadowed corners. He was born on June 30th, 1966, in Brooklyn, New York, a place where noise, danger, and fear were part of everyday life. His childhood was shaped not by comfort or protection, but by survival. Raised in a broken household surrounded by crime, gambling, and constant instability, Tyson learned early how unforgiving the world could be. By the age of 10, his family was forced to move again because of money problems, and by 13, he had already been arrested dozens of times. Fighting was not yet a sport for him. It was a shield against ridicule, against bullies who mocked his voice, and against a life that never once felt safe. Everything changed inside a juvenile detention center. A counselor noticed something unusual in the small, angry boy. Tyson was not just violent, he was precise, powerful, focused. That discovery led him to boxing, and boxing led him to Cus D'Amato, the man who would become the single most important figure in his life. D'Amato did not just train Tyson's body. He rebuilt his mind. He taught him discipline, fear control, and belief. When Tyson's mother died while he was still a teenager, D'Amato became his legal guardian. From that moment on, boxing became more than an escape. It became destiny. Tyson rose fast, too fast. As a teenager, he dominated amateur competitions and entered the professional ring at 18 years old. His first fight ended in the first round. Many others followed the same pattern. Opponents fell quickly. Crowds grew louder. Television cameras followed. After D'Amato's death in 1985, Tyson lost his emotional anchor, but the momentum did not stop. In 1986, he became the youngest heavyweight champion in history. By 1987, he held every major heavyweight title. He was feared, worshipped, and incredibly rich. Money arrived faster than wisdom. By his early 20s, Tyson was living at an extreme pace. Fame, excess, and poor decisions replaced structure. The discipline D'Amato built slowly began to collapse. In 1990, the illusion shattered when Tyson lost to Buster Douglas in one of the biggest upsets in sports history. The loss was not just physical. It exposed how far Tyson had drifted from the foundation that once held him together. Then came prison. Tyson lost his freedom for years, and with it, the life he once thought was untouchable. Inside prison, stripped of fame and control, he was forced to face himself for the first time. He converted to Islam and began to reflect. When he was released, the world was waiting, but it was no longer the same. His comeback brought money and titles again, but it also brought chaos. The fights with Evander Holyfield, especially the infamous disqualification, marked a turning point. Boxing no longer saved him. It consumed him. By the early 2000s, the pace finally caught up with Tyson. Years of punishment in the ring and chaos outside of it left his body worn down and his spirit drained. His fights no longer carried the same fire, and each return felt heavier than the last. Injuries, losses, and fading motivation slowly closed the chapter that had once defined him. In 2005, Mike Tyson stepped away from boxing, not with celebration but with quiet acceptance, his body scarred and his energy spent. His career closed in silence, not celebration. Boxing saved Mike Tyson, then nearly destroyed him. When the gloves came off for the last time, he stopped fighting the world and began searching for peace and purpose beyond the ring. And from there, his journey led west, away from the noise and chaos, to a quiet California ranch, where a very different chapter of Mike Tyson's life would begin. Ranch in California. After decades of living in chaos, Mike Tyson chose a completely different path for the later years of his life, slowing down, stepping away from the spotlight, and reconnecting with nature. His ranch in California is not a symbol of excess, but a place for healing, discipline, and rebuilding life after years of mistakes. The ranch sits far from the noise of the city, spread across a vast stretch of land with open fields, tall trees, natural ponds, and wide mountain views. The main house follows a modern ranch design, low, wide, and grounded, using natural wood, stone, and large glass panels to bring the outdoors into every corner of the home. Everything feels spacious yet warm, refined yet understated. Inside, the layout is built around comfort and quiet. The living room opens to a high ceiling with exposed wooden beams and connects directly to a large patio overlooking the water. In the morning, sunlight pours through the glass walls. In the evening, the lake reflects soft golden lights, creating a slow, meditative atmosphere. The kitchen and shared living areas are designed for family life. The kitchen reflects a modern ranch spirit, with a large island, thick stone countertops, light wood cabinetry, and natural light flowing in from a long hallway. Tyson spends time here cooking simple meals and hosting close friends. No large parties, no chaos, just familiarity and ease. The primary bedroom is set apart for privacy and calm, facing the surrounding landscape. The interior is minimal, a large bed, heavy fabrics, and soft lighting. The adjoining bathroom feels like a private spa, with a freestanding tub, high ceilings, neutral stone surfaces, and large windows. Nearby, a spacious walk-in closet reflects the structured, organized lifestyle. The ranch also includes a private gym, an essential part of his daily routine. This is no longer a place to train for combat, but a space to maintain discipline, health, and mental clarity. The setup is simple, clean, and intentional, reinforcing the controlled rhythm of his life today. Beyond the home itself, the land plays a key role in Tyson's new business chapter. Separate from the living areas is a regulated legal cannabis cultivation zone. This operation supports Tyson Ranch, a venture that generates millions of dollars annually and represents a shift in mindset, from self-destruction to healing and control. Life on the ranch is quiet and intentional. Tyson travels less, appears less in public, and spends most of his time focused on family, training, work, and solitude. This ranch is not a reward for victory, but the result of learning how to start over. Once consumed by fame and violence, Mike Tyson now chooses a life rooted in land, routine, and stillness. His California ranch is more than a home. It is where he maintains balance, self-control, and a future built entirely on his own terms. Before choosing quiet and control in California, Mike Tyson once lived at the opposite extreme, in a mansion in Connecticut built for excess, noise, and non-stop intensity. Mansion in Connecticut. Before stepping away from the noise of fame, Mike Tyson once lived in a world designed to never sleep. His mansion in Farmington, Connecticut stood as a clear symbol of a period when everything in his life moved at maximum intensity. This was not simply a residence, but a self-contained universe of power, entertainment, and isolation, spread across 17.6 acres and set apart from the calm rhythm of the surrounding suburb. From the moment the gates opened, the property made its intentions clear. A long, private drive led past water features and carefully arranged landscaping, creating the feeling of entering a private resort rather than a home. Inside, marble floors stretched across vast interiors, while soaring ceilings and twin-curved staircases transformed daily movement into something theatrical. Every detail was designed to impress, from the lighting to the materials, from the scale to the way each space flowed into the next. The mansion was built for constant activity. A private nightclub known as Club TKO sat within the estate, complete with a full bar, DJ booth, dance floor, and a commercial-grade kitchen. Nearby, a private casino area with poker and roulette tables allowed nights to continue without ever leaving the property. A dedicated home theater, lined with deep leather seating and subdued lighting, offered a darker, quieter contrast to the energy elsewhere in the house. At a slower pace, the indoor spa revealed another side of the estate. A large indoor pool, sauna areas, treatment rooms, and relaxation spaces were designed for physical recovery after long, demanding days. The primary bedroom opened toward the gardens, paired with a glass-enclosed dressing room where natural light spilled across rows of designer storage. Bathrooms throughout the home were finished in stone, featuring oversized soaking tubs and glass-walled showers, each space feeling both luxurious and deliberately removed from the outside world. Beyond the main structure, indoor and outdoor basketball courts sat beside a landscaped pond and guest house, completing a property designed for hosting, gathering, and constant motion. Everything here was expansive, abundant, and built for a life without clear limits. Over time, the mansion changed hands, renovated and reshaped by new owners, accumulating new layers of history. Yet Mike Tyson's imprint remains in its scale and spirit. The estate reflects a chapter of his life lived at full throttle, before everything began to slow. Leaving Connecticut behind, Tyson closed a loud and volatile chapter, stepping toward a different journey, one no longer defined by spectacle, but by the search for balance. And next, we turn to Mike Tyson's car collection, a reflection of power, status, and the pace of the life he once lived. Car collection. Mike Tyson chose the Mercedes-Benz G-Class at a time when his life needed balance and control. This is a heavy, solid vehicle that moves with confidence, not speed. Early in the morning, when the roads were still quiet, Tyson often chose the G-Class, with security following behind. The twin-turbo engine runs smoothly and calmly, as if reminding him that real strength. Priced at around $180,000, this became the car he relied on when focus mattered most. When Tyson needed peace and a clear head, he turned to the Bayerische Motoren Werke 7 series. This was not a car meant to stand out. It was meant to feel comfortable and calm. The inline-six engine delivers a smooth, gentle drive, letting the car glide along the road. Tyson often drove it alone on his way to important meetings or during moments when he needed time to think about his next move. Valued at about $95,000, the 7 Series became his space for balance and clarity. When Tyson wanted to feel his position in life and reflect on how far he had come, he chose the Rolls-Royce Phantom. This car entered his life after a major contract when things were finally settling down again. Late-night drives along Las Vegas Boulevard, city lights reflecting across the long hood, often found Tyson sitting beside a close friend, feeling fully in control of his journey. With a value above $450,000, the Phantom became part of his most important moments: contract signings, family milestones, and slow drives home after victories that carried real meaning. These cars quietly reflect the stages of Mike Tyson's life and the lessons he learned along the way. Now, we move on to explore the wealth of Mike Tyson and how he built what he has today. Income and net worth. At $30 million today, Mike Tyson's net worth tells a story that runs backward before it moves forward again. To understand where he stands now, you have to start with how quickly everything once arrived and how fast it disappeared. Tyson's early paydays were small and uncertain, but success came all at once. Titles brought fame, and fame brought contracts that rewrote his life overnight. In 1987, a deal with HBO worth $27 million for 8 fights changed his income instantly. Soon after, a $120 million agreement with Showtime placed him among the highest-paid athletes in the world. By the end of his prime years, his career earnings from boxing and endorsements had surpassed $430 million, close to $700 million when adjusted to today's value. But the money never stayed where it should have. Promoter Don King took enormous percentages from Tyson's fights, sometimes close to half. Poor financial control and hidden costs added to the damage. In one case, the Internal Revenue Service seized $6 million from a single purse, leaving Tyson with just $2 million in hand. Years of unchecked spending and broken trust finally led to bankruptcy in 2003, with debts totaling $23 million. Rebuilding did not come from the ring. Tyson turned to appearances, speaking engagements, and acting roles, slowly restoring steady income. A single 2-hour appearance in Las Vegas could bring in $75,000. In 2024, a new chapter opened when Netflix paid him $20 million for the bout against Jake Paul, proving that his name still carried weight, but now on his own terms. Today, his finances support a life built on calm rather than chaos. A home in Henderson, a waterfront property in Florida, and a daily routine centered on family and stability. Mike Tyson's money story is no longer about record-setting highs, but about survival, recovery, and learning how to hold on to what truly lasts. With his finances finally steady, Mike Tyson began turning his focus outward, using his resources to support causes that mattered to him beyond fame and fortune. Philanthropy. Much of Mike Tyson's giving has focused on children's hospitals in Nevada and New York. Over the years, he has donated more than $1 million to pediatric care, helping hospitals improve recovery rooms, support families who cannot afford treatment, and create quiet, safe spaces where young patients can rest. His past also shaped where he chose to give next. Tyson directed over $500,000 to programs supporting formerly incarcerated youth. These initiatives combine boxing training with mentorship and basic life skills, offering structure, discipline, and a second chance to those trying to rebuild their lives. As stability returned to his own life, another cause found its place. Tyson donated around $250,000 to animal rescue organizations, supporting shelters and adoption centers that care for abandoned animals. Taken together, these choices show a clear shift. Tyson no longer measures strength by force or fame, but by how much he can give back. And with that quieter purpose in mind, we now move into the personal life Mike Tyson leads today, shaped by routine, family, and a search for peace. Personal life. Today, Mike Tyson lives far from the chaos that once defined him, settling into a slower rhythm on his California ranch. The days here begin with open space instead of noise. Morning light moves across the land as Tyson walks the property, checks in on daily operations, and eases into the routine of ranch life. There are no crowds, no pressure to perform, just time, structure, and quiet. Life on the ranch has given him something he never had before: consistency. Tyson follows simple habits, light workouts, regular meals, and long stretches outdoors. The land keeps him grounded. It demands patience, attention, and care, qualities he learned late but now values deeply. The pace suits him. Nothing is rushed. Nothing feels forced. The ranch is also where his cannabis business comes to life. Instead of chaos, this work is methodical and controlled. Tyson is involved in decisions, branding, and long-term planning, treating the operation as a serious business rather than a quick win. For him, cannabis is tied to wellness, recovery, and balance. It represents a second act built with intention. Family remains close. When his children visit, the ranch becomes a place of connection rather than distraction. Meals are shared. Conversations are unhurried. Evenings are quiet, often spent watching the sky change colors as the day ends. These moments matter more to him now than any spotlight ever did. Tyson still travels occasionally for appearances or projects, but the ranch is where he resets. When old stories resurface or past controversies return to the headlines, he meets them from a distance, protected by routine and sobriety. The land gives him space to breathe and the discipline to stay steady. This is Mike Tyson's life now. A man who once lived in constant turmoil, choosing isolation, structure, and purpose. On his California ranch, chaos has been replaced by calm, and the future is built slowly, one deliberate day at a time. If you want to explore more stories like Mike Tyson's, from chaotic fame to quiet ranch life and real wealth, don't forget to follow the channel. Every episode takes you deeper into how legends truly live once the spotlight fades.